Welcome everybody to a look at another cult classics release via StudioCanal, and it is 1959 Horrors of the Black Museum. So this is directed by Arthur Crabtree, who also did the really rather fun Fiend Without a Face from the year before. This is a horror film clocking in at 82 minutes long. Stars the likes of Michael Gough, who I've seen in 18 other films. He was in the first 4 Batman films as Alfred, as well as 1958's Dracula, 1962's The Phantom of the Opera, and the British version of King Kong in the form of Konga. And it also stars Jeffrey Keane, who I've seen in 14 other films, in the likes of six of the Bond films. I think it was from The Spy Who Loved Me through to A View to a Kill. He basically played the mix of the Ministry of Defence or Sir something or other. He was basically a replacement for the character of M after the actor who played him, right from the original Doctor No, unfortunately passed away. So yeah, that's why he's in 6 of those films. But he was also in the likes of Portrait of Alison and Berserk, which also starred Michael Gough. And yeah, this is about a crime writer who has close contacts at Scotland Yard and a young male assistant under his influence, who both take an unhealthy interest in a series of murders. Gruesome London murders, in fact, all carried out with devices based on those in the Yard's notorious Black Museum. So despite this horror film being rather stilted in terms of direction and the majority of the script, it is still nonetheless an entertaining effort, which is mainly down to the surprisingly violent and brutal kills, with the first one in particular being rather inventive. It involves a pair of binoculars, and yeah, I'll just basically leave that at that because I don't want to spoil it too much. But yeah, it is a really, really good kill, and it happens pretty much in the first couple of minutes of the film. You've also got Michael Gough as well, who is putting in a properly scene-chewing performance, which is fun. The supporting cast is decent. It is well paced. The production is solid. It doesn't outstay its welcome, and the plot is generally engrossing. So, but yeah, definitely the main fun and entertaining part is the violent kills, as yeah, they are really rather quite brutal, and quite frankly I'm surprised this is only rated as 12 in the UK, because I would have figured it would have been rated higher than that, given it's reasonably violent. But then it could well be down to the fact of how they are shot that it's got a lower rating than you might well expect. So yeah, as per usual with these cult classic films, we get a really nice slipcover. I do believe this is new artwork for this release, unlike the previous one that we've already looked at, which had a mix of old and new artwork. But yeah, this is definitely new artwork. I can't find any poster that looks like that. But yeah, we also get the same artwork on the disc itself, as you can see. We also get several art cards, so minor spoilers for the film itself. But yeah, these are the art cards themselves. So yeah. And that's the first kill that I mentioned, including the binoculars. You try and work out how they have hurt that woman, who eventually dies. And yeah, in terms of extras on the disc itself, well, we've got a new transfer, which is a good looking transfer, to be honest. And then we've got a new interview with novelist and critic Kim Newman. Then we've got new audio commentary with Kim Newman and writer-editor Steve Jones. Then we've got the Hypno Vista introduction. Now, this is basically the introduction that was screened in theatres and cinemas, but was ultimately cut from the main film when it came to, releasing it on home video, or when it came to showing it on TV. It's basically an 11-minute, kind of, gimmick to try and make people think that they're getting hypnotized into, viewing this film properly, I think it was, in some regards, or putting them under the same kind of hypnotization as the young male assistant that Michael Gough has under his thumb. So yeah, it's something like that. I didn't get around to watching all of it because it was quite a lengthy extra, and yeah, another 11 to 13 minutes really is quite kind of pushing the running time for this film. But you also get an original trailer on top of all of that, as well as obviously the cards that I've already shown. So yeah, a fairly good film. Not a particularly great horror film. There's certainly better films from that decade in that genre. But overall, yeah, a really rather fun one, and a surprisingly violent one as well as that. So yeah, but if you've seen this film before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.